I also have seen more and more of him recently.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of him in the jungle recently, just because he brings a lot of raw damage.
Gladiators, one that's going to be close, and I can't wait to see the Twitch poll on this one, but to find out how it is, we'll go down to the casters.
That's right, it's game number 1 with the Gladiators and Hex MAMBO, and it's J-Mac and... I do see a bit of scuffling between the solo laners now. Kana rotating out of lane, dashed by Kirmi.
Good stun.
And a stun on Rapio from distance. Up into the sky goes Kirmi. Jengaru's nearby, but it sends a dunk to Johnny. And caught out inside the jungle. It's first blood for Jengaru and the Gilded Gladiators. Well, what more can they go from here? With Kha'Zix rotating in, seems Gladiators will call for the retreat, but a good pluck by Kha'Zix pulls the beads immediately away from Kirmi.
Yeah, the CC chain between Kirmi and Kana has been very good so far as well. They've just really caught out everyone on map. Jengaru
goes to the transformation, gets out just fine. Rapio living at a sliver of HP.
That's crazy.
Probably single-digit health at that point. Bluestone not quite enough to get the kill, but now it's Jengaru going down. Axis there. Torrent misses after stun on Julio, and he's just gonna fall after Johnny comes back from the grave to pick up one more, and Julio's still alive. Goes for the ultimate, takes down Kirmi while still living at a couple hundred himself. Johnny standing by, waiting for Kana to land, but he'll bird form out. All the while, Rapio had never quite left.
Buff spawning soon. I'm not certain the Gilded Gladiators have timer on this one. Snoopy's really low mana as well. He's got to be careful.
Rapio on the way. Pluck hits Jake. Mez not going to hit this time. Jake's still standing through, but he dashes the wrong way, and Spudio will capitalize off of it. Kirmi gets his dash interrupted. Snoopy now no mana and slowed down by the lurking in the water. Snoopy's going to have to give up his life, and the kill goes to Rapio. Another beads pulled away from Kirmi as Kha'Zix connects with yet another pluck.
Gilded Gladiators are starting eyes on Jake. If they keep playing aggressive here, the Gilded Gladiators that is, they're going to have a numbers disadvantage and a significant one. Johnny and Rapio on the rotation.
Fight over shield, pull back onto Jake. Grabs him with the gravity surge, and knockback is there. The feather step pulls him out of it, and it's another kill for Johnny. A dunk in, this time by Kirmi. Takes down 2 almost. Johnny's able to jump away, and Kha'Zix with a tail whip to zone him out, but Spudio crashes in with the ultimate. Spudio himself trying to get out of this one as Jengaru catches him out in the back line, nearly takes him down, and Kha'Zix goes down with a rotation from Kana. Able to pick off Spudio. 2 kills for the Gilded Gladiators, just 1 for Hex MAMBO.
Great rotation from Kana there. Gets involved, cuts off the escape path. Jengaru also rotates in high. And Hex MAMBO nowhere to go after
by the Gladiators. Julio nearby. Snoopy dives into the lane, but is met by a whole heap of damage. Beads pulled away from the Hunter inside the wall, just waiting to see who his death goes to. It's Rapio with Taiko Drums. Ultimate from Julio catches a few. Jengaru knocked up and pulls the beads, so Johnny can't yank him back. And now it's ultimate from Jake. Hits a few big targets, but now it's just pulling them all towards the Gilded Gladiators. And all this while, Spudio has not left that lane of the frontliners. Kha'Zix unfortunately catches the decoy of Jengaru, costs him a lot of his HP, might even cost him his full life. Jake goes in with the ultimate. It's going to pull only Rapio this time because Johnny flips over it. But Kana up on the cloud is distracting as Julio's in the backline, trying to distract Jengaru, who goes up into a cloud of his own as the Wukong double dive in by the solo and the jungle, but the Taiko Drums are wreaking havoc on the health bars of the Gilded Gladiators. Stun catches Snoopy from Spudio's ultimate. Now Snoopy is in trouble. Jump in by Johnny. Puts him on a killing spree. Hex MAMBO win out the team fight.
I can't believe Julio's teleport made it through, J-Mac. That is ridiculous. Throughout the entire fight, no one from the Gilded Gladiators spots that ward. Julio shows up in the backline and says, guess I'm going straight in the ult.
Kha'Zix trying to front line, but he's losing a lot of health. Fury gets reset for a moment. Now Kirmi is by himself, but the ultimate is still there for Johnny, and he picks him off. It's a killing spree now for Rapio. The Hex MAMBO with their 8th of the game and an Oni Fury to boot. The 1K lead develop. Kha'Zix on a warpath. Anytime he sees an enemy, walk in, pluck, see what we can do from it. To pull back to Jake. He's losing a lot of HP. Johnny and Rapio just have so much damage. Now Aegis pulled away from Jengaru. Does have his beads, so not going to have to worry about CC, but being down in Aegis against that much damage, we saw what it did to Jake. So now Hex MAMBO know that no ultimate on the board for the Hunter, and the Gladiators are starting up the Fire Giant. Kha'Zix in the middle of the pit, trying to zone away 3. Kirmi goes up onto the tree, and it's instead to the backline trying to take down Spudio, who uses the ultimate, pulls it back but doesn't stun anybody, dashes into a wall, and Rapio's there to try and bail him out. Spudio is still alive throughout all of this, but Jake's ultimate finally the one to take him down. Kana still trying to fight back, but Rapio knocks him away, and now it's Jake on the run. Ultimate from Julio, gets a knock up. Jake use the beat so he's not pulled back by Johnny this time, but he still gets hit by the knockup. And it's Rompio dashing right in aggressively. Jake goes down. Double for the mid laner of MAMBO.
That's the fight for the Gilded Gladiators that they were praying for. 5 versus 4 with Johnny on the way back to base. Johnny only involved for the last 5 seconds of that engagement, but still it's Hex MAMBO coming out on top once more. The damage output from the Gilded Gladiators just isn't there. It's a very pick-based composition. They can isolate individuals, but Jengaru's not a standard mage, and he might just be dead.
Not just a might, it is a definite dead for him. Rampage now for Johnny. 5-1-4 for the Awilus jungle of Hex MAMBO. And he was doing this during the SCC qualifiers. There was Snoopy. Does manage to make it back, but it's the rest of Hex MAMBO already pushing up mid. Kirmi pushed away. Jake goes in with the ultimate. Does manage to get the ultimate out of Rompio in response. Kirmi dives down in to try and take down Rompio, but he's just so tanky. The shells, the meditations, they're keeping him alive. Rompio just will not die. Finally goes down to awesome Jake, but it's already down to now a 4v4. Solo laner gone for the Gilded Gladiators, and Jake all by himself. It might be a 2-for-1 as Jake gets caught out. Johnny's swinging away, and Spudio with the enhance takes him out.
The Gilded Gladiators have fallen prey to it twice now. They say, okay, look, Johnny's not here. He was trying to stop Snoopy.
Snoopy might want to run away fast. Goes up with the ultimate, but where does he land? You go to the group of 3. It seems to be the call. Immediately, Spudio answers with an ultimate of his own. Jake gets stunned out. Kirmi off the tree, on top of Kha'Zix, but that's not the target that he really wants to go for. Kana tries to get to the back line, doesn't do damage. Jengaru finds a double stun, but he can't even get a good transform back off. Spudio falls down. Health bar's a bit low on the side of the Gladiators, and it's going to be the call for retreat because Julio is in the back line. It's just going menace mode up against Snoopy. He can't even do damage to Julio. Julio's returning it all back to him, and it's a kill for Julio, maybe an extra for Johnny. Has the jump, lands on Kirmi, feather step, takes him down, and now it's only 3 alive on the Gladiators.
Jengaru's struggling to escape out of the jungle. Johnny's got eyes on him, but maybe it's Kana on the chopping block. Either one would be massive. Kana pulled back in, and Johnny picks up his second. Chase doesn't stop. Can he take down a bird from this position? Jengaru still hasn't reset.
2 versus 4. Can the Gilded Gladiators hold back? Awesome Jake standing behind. Left side Phoenix gets hit by a runic bomb, slowed down. Its attack speed and ill of its HP gone. Can the 4 fight 2 under the Titan? Jengaru steps up. That's the last step that he gets to take. Now it's Jake versus 4. Hex MAMBO walk right into the throne room, and they don't care about what this Charon can do. The Titan down to half, nobody back on respawn. Jake thrown around like a rag doll at the hands of Hex MAMBO, who take game number 1.
I don't even think MAMBO wanted to end, J-Mac. They were walking towards mid.
Granted,
They just
Camazot's not really a pick that I associate with Johnny. I think we've seen him on it before, not really recently, but if you're looking for pressure in the jungle, if you're looking...
Find themselves a 2-0 and show us what EU SCC has to offer today. The only way to find out is to jump down to the casters.
Well, currently 1-1 with SCC as far as our sets go and qualifying further forward. We'll see if Hex MAMBO can push that advantage to the SCC once more as you have in game number 2. It's J-Mac, Mifflin, and still keeping up their front, trying to keep that pressure up in mid.
Yeah, I think King Arthur is an interesting topic of conversation because so much of his lane can look exactly like this. Just bullying out. 1v1, sticks 2, and he's got it!
Johnny's got it! Can he get out? Dragonfly pushes him away and takes him down. Now it's Rompio versus Jengaru. Does manage to get 2 ticks of Percussive Storm, but that's not enough damage. The faster burst by Jengaru.
But to answer your question about what exactly is King Arthur good at, it's stopping ADCs and it's stopping mages simply by dealing damage.
Jake uses his ultimate to zone away for shield buff. Only taps Kha'Zix this time, but that's a team fight now down on the side of the Gladiators. Jengaru trying to steal a buff away, gets back from Kirmi, who dives in. Ultimates are good, and Jengaru puts down Johnny. Now it's just Rompio to defend against 3, not able to secure his own buff this time. A steal away by the Gilded Gladiators, plus an extra
kill.
Get
additional healing. Anytime Kha'Zix hits you with remove obstacles, get that additional healing as well.
Link on a Jengaru, ultimate from Jake, not jumped over by Johnny this time. Does have access to ult, but doesn't even need it. Now Kirmi here to leap over it by Johnny. Rompio still alive, but goes down, and now with the Hunter joining the fray, the Gilded Gladiators can try to turn this fight back around. Ultimate used by Kha'Zix to bail them out, but Jake hasn't quite given up yet. Just now, spouting out Spudio might be the end of the push for the Gladiators on one side, but with Spudio in a 3v1, could have been dangerous, except that Kirmi got hit by a bit too much damage.
Thought maybe we'd see Spudio throw out the ultimate. after he finds that CC there. Looks for it again, finds Kiermy, but auto's blocked out by Awesome Jake. Should spell the end of this engagement. Purple buff spawning. Looks to me like the Gladiators want this one.
Kha'Zix is low. Jake's got good poke, but Johnny's wrapping back around. I don't think the Gilded Gladiators know they're about to fight another 3v2. Snoopy doesn't have ultimate. Jake doesn't either. Johnny spots him out on the dash, and that's a death onto the Hunter. Johnny comes back from the grave just to put one in the dirt himself. And now it's the Gilded Gladiators back on defense. You look up at the top of the charts, though. It's still a really dead even game here, only 9 minutes in.
Man, another slept-on facet of Camzatz's game is just how much sustain he's got in the jungle. The Gladiators can start playing around their lead in mid. Maybe one way to start finding some of those wins in the PvP.
Kiermy and Jake team up. Ultimate from Jake hits all three of Hex Mambo. Spudio flips away to his own death, and now with Kiermy here, 4 versus 2. It's going to be an easy fight for Gilded Gladiators. Kha'Zix picked up by the solo laner as Kana has made his presence known on the left side of the map. Everybody but Jenkaru is on his way now to see if they can get an extra kill. 2 down on Mambo, and about to be a 3rd to the hands of Awesome Jake. The Gilded Gladiators sweep a fight. They lose out 1, but they pick off 3.
No rotation from Rapio there. Thought maybe we'd see him trying to match the rotation of Jenkaru the map. Global taunt in as Johnny. He's got eyes for Snoopy.
But at the similar regard, Kiermy has eyes for Spudio. They take down
Yikes.
1, but Johnny has to use the ultimate to try and kill Snoopy. Aegis stops the second swipe, but the third one is there. Johnny goes down to Kiermy. It's a double for the jungler of the Gilded Gladiators. Cost Snoopy his life, but Kiermy will take that double trade.
Yeah, Johnny, rare whiff from him. Misses out on that Vampiric Bats, which forces him to use the ultimate to finish off the kill on a Snoopy. Had he hit Vampiric, would have still had ultimate for Kiermy, and maybe could have found the double kill himself.
Still
Instead,
fairly
it's the
tanky, so does do some decent damage. Now it's all 5 of the Gladiators grouping up. Kha'Zix might just be caught out. He's got nowhere to run. Rapio can't save him. It's Kana with 1. Now it's a 5v4 for the Gladiators. Kiermy up on the tree, and his target is Rapio. Waits for him to Thunder Crash away. Gets the Aegis out, waiting out on the beads, but it's not even gonna matter. Now 2 for the Gilded Gladiators, and it could just be 3. Johnny has to swing away on the bat out of hell just to survive. Spudio, the only healthy one left on Hex Mambo.
Kha'Zix has to get that Dartmouth Pillar off before he dies. If he does, the fight looks ever so
resustain it back.
Kiermy up to the air. Spudio, no dash. Forced to use Beads Aegis early. Good peel from Kha'Zix, but is it enough?
Silence keeps him alive for now. The Tidal Wave does clip Spudio, but he might as well be out of the fight, as well as Johnny used the bat out of hell to try and take down Snoopy, who's in the middle of the pillars, and it's Rapio to turn it around and get the first kill of the fight. Julio crashes in off of the cloud.
He's still
and now
going?
it's Jenkaru in danger. Beats and Aegis away from their mid laner on the Gladiators, and it's Julio with his first kill of the game, and Spudio takes down Kiermy. The Gladiators had it all for them, and now it's Hex Mambo pushing them all the way back. It's just the tanks left for the Gilded Gladiators, and it might not be for much longer. Jake caught out, and Jake taken down. 4 for Hex Mambo at the mid lane.
Dharmic Pillars boxes him up and delivers everyone to Hex Mambo. Approaching around that 10,000 mark just a moment ago. Keep your eyes on Johnny. He's got the flank on this fight.
Titans are out. Jake charges up the ultimate, lets it rip through 3, but doesn't find the damage. Spudio launches out the swords, and it's going to get a lot, but Johnny to the back line, pushed against the wall immediately, but gets the bat out of hell with the help of Rapio. 1 for Hex Mambo. Johnny, half HP, stunned on landing. Kiermy trying to turn it around, but he gets the Bloodforge proc to stay alive. He stays in the pool, but it's just not enough. Low health bars on Mambo. Jake still healthy. Kana still fighting back. It's 2 for Kiermy and 1 for Awesome Jake. It's all going south now for Hex Mambo, but Spudio will stand his ground. It's a 3 for 2 trade out, but Kiermy once more, but Kiermy may have made a mistake. Don't dive in versus 2.
Kana.
Wait for Kana to jump back into the fray. Rapio, he's got nowhere to go, accepts his death, but he gets the alternate timeline. Is that enough to keep him alive? Kiermy gets 3 in the fight, and Rapio will not get enough. It's 4 for Kiermy, nearly the quad they were looking for, but it's the Gladiators on top of the fight.
He doesn't have beads or blink here, but he does have damage and ultimate available. Jenkaru spotted, needs to play safe here. Should have seen Johnny. He's in no man's land.
Johnny's missed everything. Let's take a listen with the Gilded Gladiators. They maybe try and bail themselves out of this team fight.
I'm under start. I'm looking to start.
Fuck, I fucked it. I'm playing with you, Hutch.
I'm the killer.
Maybe Ganesh? Rajan dash on me, I die here, but I
Kill her. I'm on Rajan.
Play Subi, play Subi. You guys are in the game here. They're coming from
Yeah,
behind.
I'm looking at Rajan. I've won soon. Silence?
They're in range, they're in range.
He's a dash over the wall.
Kema, does he have ult? Fuck.
Oh.
We're splitting, boys.
Yeah, you're split now.
That was Ishtar,
Red.
both relics for fire. This one's EFG.
Oh, it started out so well for the Gladiators, but then right at the end, as soon as Johnny steps back in, it's all going downhill. Kana's doing his best to fight in the 3v1. He's holding his own for the time, but there's not enough sustain on that Arthur and not enough defense. Rapio, Johnny, the carries for Hex Mambo, keeping things alive.
I've seen it twice now, J-Mac. The Gilded Gladiators can't go for the split engagement. Johnny just decimates the one knowledge there that Kana is no longer the tanky menace that you might think he is. If you can lock him down, Rapio can melt him. Jake, too far forward. A lot of damage going his way.
Hex Mambo goes in. Let's take a listen with Mambo as they try and close this out.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I go rat dash. Ulting rat. Roll.
What's one? One. Maybe. Archie's one.
I can blink in one.
Chase. Tank. I can go in one. I can go in one.
Yes. I'm tanking.
Hachi.
I'm tanking.
Nice.
Careful, Rat's gonna come back now.
Yeah,
Boys.
Watch out. Reset.
Get Phoenix.
Get Phoenix. I'm backing. Going.
Hex Mambo find 2 picks in the team fight, take down the tier 2, and now a Phoenix alongside it. Hex Mambo, again, they may have been down in gold, but we're at the
Phenomenal
point in the
information. Tank the tower. I've got dash in 2. Let's get aggressive. Get the Phoenix reset. Go fire. And now they're calling the fight.
Julio's gonna stun out Kana. They're gonna try and kill Julio on the side of the Gladiators, but Julio has that second life. He jumps up on the cloud. They're chasing out the decoy. He disrupts the backline again. Johnny gets spotted out
Big
though.
miss.
Jumps over the tide away from Awesome Jake. And now in the 2v3, they join in with Kha'Zix's ultimate, which has just caused so many problems for the Gilded Gladiators time and time throughout almost backed up off a cooldown.
Kana's
Nearly
coming back.
everybody's ults. Akana's up in 1. Jake lets the ultimate fire to the Fire Giant, see if he can take it away. He cannot. Hex Mambo secure the objective as Kha'Zix throws out the Dharmic Pillar, and Johnny dives in, but it's Kirmi and Kana to the backline. Have Hex Mambo even noticed? Johnny and Julio dive on a Kirmi, and they take out the jungler. Now it's Kana in the middle of 5, and that is no man's land for the solo laner. Spudio with 1, and Julio and Johnny
Jake.
team up to take down Jake. 3 dead on the Gladiators and make it 4 as Rapio picks up the double, and it's only Jengaru left alive to defend.
The EU SCC on a warpath. Julio stops the back. Jengaru, so much work cut out for him. The base already broken. Hex Mambo, they're not healthy, but they're going for it.
They're gonna walk in. Jengaru, no ultimate. He's got to do it with the cooldowns he has. Beads and Aegis, both available. Full health Titan, 1 versus 5. Jengaru starting to poke out the tanks, but he needs all of his cooldowns to kill these carries, to kill these frontliners. Johnny jumps it over and nearly kills them all on his own. Rampage for Johnny, and the EUSCC strike once more.
It just felt inevitable, didn't it?